Welcome to Backyard Dynamics. Today's a special episode because we now have a camera. So this is going to be our first episode on YouTube. Hey. We got Billy G, Jericho, Danny, Beto. And if you notice the sign, because you can see it, because there's a camera,
we're at the Wheel Zone.
Wheel Zone off of Palm Avenue in Chula Vista.
Off the 5.
And I am your host, Robbie C. Welcome aboard, guys.
Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
No.
Thank you for letting us
Danny,
record it.
welcome to the show.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, Danny.
So tell us about the Wheel Zone.
It's a long story, I'll tell you that.
That's what we're here for.
Most definitely.
Well, it's a long story. I've been involved in cars all my life.
Okay.
And I don't know you guys want to hear it or not, but
Yeah.
Spill the beans, boss. Spill the beans.
I have some really good stories, badass stories, but because why did I get into cars? Because of vehicles? Because my dad, back in, I always speak about my dad, but I think our fathers have a lot to do in their lives.
Yeah,
right?
they do.
So my dad already passed away, but he was a badass guy. He, I just summary it up, but he came illegally in 1940, before 1945, something like that. Okay. He was out of 13 siblings. He was the smallest one, and as soon as he was born, his parents passed away.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then he came along. It took him 2 years to come across. So he left when he was like, I think, he told me many years ago. He came across when he was 13 or 14 years old. Somewhere there.
Damn.
Anyways, he'll tell you stories so you could cry. But anyways, what I'm trying to get at is that he worked hard, and he had a landscaping business back in that was in Long Beach.
Oh wow.
His favorite job was actually I asked him once, what's your favorite job? Because he literally did everything.
Did everything. Yeah.
And he said, well, actually, I've done everything, but the job that I liked the most was shoe polisher, shoe shiner.
Okay.
Shoe shiner.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was asking, why do you like so much?
Yeah.
And he says, because he worked at the Long Beach Country Club.
Oh.
This is back in the 50s, 45 or some
Yeah.
in 1945 or 19 somewhere there.
Yeah.
And he like this, and so he got to know all the wealthy people,
Famous people.
and he got a lot of tips, just shoe shining, right?
Yeah.
And from there, he one day decided he would quit the shoe shining job, right? And he would go to he start his own business, a landscaper.
Yeah.
And after that, he got contracts with the wealthy people he knew, right?
Yeah.
And so he did pretty good on landscaping. And once he did good on landscaping, he started buying apartments. And then after that, and his hobby was, I guess he had a lot of free time or whatever. He started building go-karts.
Oh,
cool. Yeah, nice.
Right?
Yeah.
And back in the 60s, there was hardly anybody making go-karts. It's not like right now, if you want to buy a go-kart, you could buy just,
Yeah.
buy one and get it.
They
Get a
were
drop
custom back then.
Yeah.
by Amazon or whatever.
Yeah.
And,
Back then
and-
you had to build your own.
Yeah,
You had to make
exactly.
your
So
own.
my dad used to build the first go-kart track. He built so many go-karts. He would sell the go-karts to go-kart tracks.
Oh, wow.
And then he built some of the first three-wheelers. I remember that he told me built.
dang.
There was no and I have some pictures there. My mom literally driving some three-wheelers that my dad used to build.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow.
And he built so many go-karts. Like I said, he literally this is out of his at his apartments. He had some garages there, and he had some friends, and he just start do it as a hobby. And after a while, he built so many go-karts. He would buy. So he made like a design that was like commercially proof. Not because one thing's having it just your own go-kart, but one thing's having it commercially proved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Because
selling it to
people would
customers.
ride on it and just beat the hell out of it. And
Yeah.
you have to make sure the go-kart is
Lasts.
reusable.
Yeah.
So he built so many go-karts, and then he had just guys are near the border.
Mm-hmm.
He literally had the very first go-kart track in TJ. He built it.
What?
This was in
Nice.
1960, probably I'd say 67 somewhere there.
Oh, wow.
And I have pictures there of him driving down through Revolucion.
Yeah, on a
Yeah,
go-kart.
with a caravan, with motor, how do you got the motorcade?
Yeah.
Motorcade, with the cops and driving through Revolucion and all that.
No way.
Promoting the go-kart track, the very first go-kart track.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, you have
This
to
is
share those.
1967.
Yeah, you got to show us those pictures.
I don't have the picture near with me,
That's
right,
cool.
but
Beto's got to post them up on Instagram.
Yeah.
and,
The roots.
Yeah.
so from there, my dad, I guess he thought he's always pretty well off, and because remember his whole family he was in Mexico, right?
Yeah.
So he married my mom, and then decided to go to Mexico, and I was like 3 years old when I went to Mexico, and
So he did well for himself.
yeah, he did well, very well, and so when he moved down and back to Mexico, he didn't need it to work, but he said, I gotta do something, so
Stay busy.
so he
Yep.
started. He started to build more go karts, and opened it was the largest go kart track in Mexico City.
Oh,
for
wow.
10 years. For 10 years.
CDMX, man.
Yeah, and I have so many stories, and my whole childhood from 3 years old to like 13, 14, I think, because it lasted like 10 years. And those same go karts that he built lasted 10 years. Same identical. Yeah.
Did you race those at any point in time? Did he make you one?
Yeah. So I people would not believe me, but I used to teach how to drive adults at 8 years old. I was 8 years old, and I was
teaching them how to drive.
I was teaching people how to drive, how to
Drive and maneuver.
because in Mexico, this is 1970s already.
Yeah.
So in 1970s, if people know Mexico City, people from the outside will go into the city, right?
Yeah.
It was wild.
And there's so many people from the outskirts of Mexico, like the rancho, como
Yeah.
like they say,
Yeah.
that literally didn't know how to drive, and it's for
Makes sense.
we call them paisas, huh?
Yeah.
and
Makes sense.
So I remember so many things happened in that go-kart track, but I remember my dad used to tell me, go grab that son of a gun that doesn't know how to drive and teach him how to ride. So I had to go, because so the first thing, it was, like I said, it was the largest go-kart track in Mexico City for 10 years.
Yeah.
And it was in the outskirts of, it was in Mexico City, but it's a little bit outskirts. It's not like in the main, the central,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
in DF. We were, it's Estado de Mexico, but Estado de Mexico is the same thing as Mexico City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, so yeah, I remember I used to had to hop so the go-kart had a Nerf bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would ride on the side of the Nerf bar,
While you're teaching?
not sitting down. Yeah, this is
Hanging on.
Yeah, hanging on. Yeah, I would hang on.
Just crouch down.
But I started.
Old school stuff.
Yeah, I started riding go-karts probably when I was.
Did you have a clipboard while you did
No,
that?
not
To
really.
bring it up?
No,
Like,
this is-
hey.
Did you wear a helmet
This
and
is old
safety
school.
gear?
This is yeah.
Oh, dude.
No
there's
safety gear.
Yeah, no safety gear, no nothing.
Old school.
I would, like I said, my brother and I were literally almost born in go-karts. So I would just hop on the side of the go-kart, grab the steering wheel, and because literally people would get confused. Which is accelerator? Which accelerator? Which one's the brake? And they'll get confused. This is accelerator and this is brake. And at that, so they were riding in the go-karts. So there were, because we had a regular go-kart. The ideal horsepower, it would be the maximum 5 horsepower.
Okay.
Right? So yeah, my dad used to because we were born here, but we live in Mexico with a passport.
Yeah.
My mom, because my mom's Caucasian, and my dad was from Puebla.
Oh.
Okay, and then so every 6 months. We would have to come back and renew our passport.
Yeah.
every
Just to
6
stay
months.
legal,
Yeah,
yeah.
every 6 months.
Yeah.
My dad would come over and would buy those Honda motors, the 5 horsepower Honda motors.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll take them across the country.
From the lawnmowers. Those,
Wow.
Yeah, because this is back in the 70s. You couldn't find
Down there, you couldn't
down
find.
in Mexico, you couldn't find Honda motors.
Yeah.
It was non-existent. And so we would
Buy a bunch of them and take
yeah,
them
my dad
down.
would take them down to Mexico and
like bougie
until he got tired.
Yeah,
He said,
I know.
until one time he said, I'm not going to get any more motors. So they already had Kohler. Kohler is they were called Kohler de Mexico, which is Kohler is I forgot brand. who makes Kohler. But anyways,
Kohler's like a big brand.
It's a tool brand. I know Kohler.
yeah,
right?
yeah. So, but they mainly they were strong on pumps.
Okay.
They were made.
Kohler pumps actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
They make I think they make what are they called? Generators. Kohler generators.
Yeah, it's an industrial.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he found that he found 8 horsepower.
Shit.
Yeah.
So from 5 to
Step it
8.
up.
Oh,
So they were like it was overpowering the go kart, you know, and I had a lot of stories where the go kart was just so strong. And I remember I used to teach people how to get, because they were driving like, this is back in the 70s. You can realize it's not, people would not identify a go-kart track like nowadays where it's like super overly protected. Nobody can possibly get hurt.
Yeah.
Now this is and remember we had a sign posted. It would say maneja su propio riesgo, which means drive at your own risk.
Yeah.
Okay. And there was always, who would crash the most, the go-karts? The guys that thought they were the
good ones.
That's usually how it is,
not
man.
not the kids, not the
women.
not the women.
Yeah. That's how it
The
is.
guys, because they were fast. So we had some that were really fast. We also had my dad also had personal go-karts, which would with 2-stroke motors. The McCullough. McCullough.
Yeah. That's another brand.
And those were like super fast. Those are
It's called
probably like 80, 90, 100 miles an hour.
delusional confidence, where they think they're just so over. They think they're the shit. It's like,
Correct.
Think you're hot shit.
And
You're
they were always-
delusional.
So the first, I remember the design of the go-kart track, and for the first thing, but the first straight was was pretty long stretch, and they would hit the gas all the way, and they just lose control at the very first turn. Boom, straight into the trees, or straight into, or they would literally have people that would get out, on the last curve. They would miss the curve and literally drive through the trees and go onto the street onto the avenue.
Oh, man.
And the only reason they didn't get run over by a big truck or semi is because there was a stoplight. If the stoplight would have been on green, they would have gotten run over.
Oh, man.
You know what's crazy
many
is that
stories.
this small world. Remember the go-kart we used to come here?
Oh, yeah. Right down the street.
Track?
Those go-karts, my dad designed.
Oh, really?
Oh, look at that.
Oh,
We
shit.
used to go race there all the time.
We used to go there.
Blue one
That's
was
just
the
around the
fast
corner,
one.
right?
Yeah.
You
Next
remember
to the
that
golf
one.
course
There's a blue
or the
fast
golf
one. I
range.
remember that.
Yeah, I remember there'd be an argument one night, and we're like, let's settle this on the track.
Yeah.
Let's go on the track.
We'd all go there late, huh? It was like at night we'd go there and race them, and they're
then
gone now. Huh?
And then go and race.
Those are fun.
Yeah,
You know what?
those were cool.
We raced with honor though. We had the rules. We wouldn't do that whole try to spin someone out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once in a while.
No
but
bumps.
not all the
Yeah.
time.
Well, yeah, that got you kicked off the track.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So you guys had pretty much a go-kart track in your backyard growing up.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it was my dad's business. It was
Business.
Yeah, it
He
was a
made
business.
it
It was
business,
established
yeah.
business. It literally, I mean,
So it was his hobby, and he turned it into a business.
It was a kick-ass business because literally, don't exaggerate.
What was it called?
Autódromo Santa Clara.
Oh, okay.
Autódromo Santa Clara. People from Ecatepec, the Nuevo Mexico, Ecatepec.
That's where it's at.
Is a pretty large
What's
city.
up, man?
part of Mexico City.
Cool.
And yeah, that was a.
That's what got you in the cars.
I started literally working on. I was probably since I was like probably 5 years old. My dad.
You were a
used to-
mechanic.
Yeah, exactly. I was just starting.
Hold that
starting-
flashlight, huh?
Starting.
Remember we
literally
all
started-
mechanics when we were kids? I remember working on my bicycle, dude. Like
Right?
with
No,
the
I
screwdriver.
would go there, and my dad would literally just change the tires.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would vulcanize the tires.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
dang.
Oh, he's
dude.
already getting the tires at 5 years old.
Yeah,
huh?
Damn.
and after a while, start installing motors, and then start helping the customers and all that. And
cool.
there's so many stories I could tell you. I mean, from the go-kart track.
Yeah.
And you would get people wouldn't believe it, but when we had more customers, it was when it rained. People,
Yeah. It's
people would
funner,
go
dude.
there. The kids wouldn't care. And
Oh, yeah, it's
it
live.
rained so hard in Mexico because the elevation is 2,400.
Yep.
Oh, it
meters
rains there all the time.
2,400 meters above sea level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when it rains over there, it pours like.
Yeah.
It rains for like
rains hard.
5 minutes and it'll stop.
But it's
And
heavy.
then
I mean,
it's heavy.
there's no
Pours
joke.
again.
Like today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Kinda
this
Yeah, like this is
it'll pour
normal over there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
over here it's kind of more like little mist, you know.
Chisbita.
Over there, it's
Over
like,
there, no, over there, boom. Whoa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some real stuff.
Yeah.
That's fun, man. Driving in the rain. I remember riding my bike in the rain. I used to enjoy that shit.
Yeah.
So I can
Yeah.
imagine
So-
now add gas to it in the fast car.
So we would,
At 8 years old?
the difference, like I guess in comparison to the go-kart tracks over here is that, so my dad would like for when instead of running for per lap, you know, instead of running out the car, the go-kart per lap, he would run out for per hour.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
So
There you
people,
go.
so people.
What's that one go-kart here? Speed Zone or something?
yeah.
Don't
Yeah, the one
they,
in downtown.
they charge by
The electric
Lap?
ones, right?
Yeah, you
not
only get a
lap,
certain
you
amount
get
of
like
laps.
10 minutes.
Yeah, 10 minutes or something.
15 minutes or something. Yeah. So they charge by time, but it's a short amount of time and it's
Correct.
kind of pricey.
Mini
Yeah, it's-
Teslas.
And they'll slow your ass down.
Oh,
if
they
you're
will.
Too fast.
Yeah.
Really? They have control of
Yeah,
that?
they
too?
have
Yeah,
control.
it's all control.
They have limiters.
So they do have tournaments there.
But they're electric.
So you can go out there for tournaments and they'll keep them fast. But if you keep hitting someone, they'll slow you down. And then for regular
They'll
people
kick
that
you
come
out.
in, they will slow people down if they're going too fast.
Oh wow.
I remember pulling the throttle cable at Boomers, you know?
Oh, reaching back, yeah.
The little extra.
they-
Make it go faster.
Because they had like a little screw for a stopper.
nice-
But then once you knew, because I had buddies that worked there, and I actually
Yeah.
worked there a little bit too.
Yeah, how'd you
and like,
make
hey,
it?
just do a little reach around and pull it.
There you go.
How do I make
just
it
hit
faster?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just pull that
So-
little throttle cable, man.
The nitrous
It was
secret-
training for later on in life.
Hey, what's he doing? What's he doing?
They're not around no more, so we would also take them out to the parking lot too.
Oh.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we had one for a while, right? Remember?
Oh,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, we had a custom go kart and oh man, we off roaded it.
Who bought it? You did?
No, it was
Popeye.
Popeye.
Oh, that's
So
right.
yeah,
Fixed
We
it,
modified
welded
it.
We welded it.
It was broken. We put
we
a
broke
seat
it,
on it.
welded. You put we
seat
put
on
a
it.
seat on
It
it
had no brakes.
for a while.
brakes,
For a while, no brakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Like
had
the Flintstone brakes, or
we
what?
had a buddy. We're right here off of L Street, right where they used to have the races back in the day, and those plazas, right across from the salt production plant or
Oh,
whatever it's
Bay.
called.
Yeah.
Bay Boulevard.
And he was speeding down the parking lot, and he didn't know there was a raised section for parking, and he hit it head on. And we saw him dive over the steering wheel, and the steering wheel
Oh,
kept him
almost
down.
Killed him, bro.
We ran over there, and he's just
That was Ricky at his house, wasn't it?
Yeah, we also took it to the back of Proctor Valley.
Yeah,
that
we-
was
The dirt.
sick, dude. That was
we
fun,
did Proctor
bro.
Valley. Yeah.
But this was one of those cheap ones that are stiff, no suspension.
Nothing.
It was like little tire. It was not the nice
Yeah, I'm
one.
surprised
we
didn't
took
die.
off. It had a box muffler. We took that off. I welded.
Made it loud.
It was a 2-bolt flange, and I welded like a little 1-inch pipe on it.
It was loud. Too.
Yeah, yeah.
Did
It
you,
was.
did you ever modify? So you had the 8 horsepower engines. Did you ever modify them or not? Do anything?
No, so they were so fast. We had to
Limit them?
Yeah, limit them.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
And I remember one of my stories is I remember that my dad had once just installed. So he was buying like a batches of five
Motors.
Kohler motors at
Yeah.
a time, changing the old ones and then because the best days for a go-kart track is on Sundays,
Yeah.
Saturdays or Sundays, the weekends.
Yeah.
Family day.
That's one of the reasons he gave
Yeah,
it up.
family
He got
days
tired
and
of working he told me he got tired of working every weekend. Everybody will be having a blast, and he had to
Yeah.
work. So, anyways, and he had I remember number 14 was a lousy go kart. He just installed a motor, and the governor, I guess you call it, is it wasn't adjusted. Oh. Because he had just installed the motor, literally adjusted, and it was a Sunday, and it was packed full. People would remember this is 70s, 80s,
Yeah.
and they liked the go kart so much they would like rent it by the hour, and instead of they wanted to keep
day.
want to keep on going.
Yeah.
They wouldn't even get off the go kart. They would just throw the money.
Oh wow.
That before
In it to
like
win
before
it.
credit cards.
Yeah.
He was just throwing the money.
And so
Give me another
at
hour.
14, that was a slow car for a while. Did people
No,
know it?
so there was a brand new motor in it.
Oh.
So then my dad said, I need to go get number
Another
14.
cart.
Because it was packed
It's not
full.
ready.
Yeah. Go get number 14. Go get number 14. Okay. So I went over and grabbed the go-kart. And instead of going through instead of going to the shortcut, I said, it's so fast. I said, the go-kart's brand new. It's so fast. I'll just take it through the whole circuit.
Yeah.
And I grabbed the go-kart, and the accelerator got stuck at the yeah, the accelerator got stuck at the maximum, right?
Yeah.
Hoping for that red light, huh?
So it was so fast. Oh shoot! So I had to. I said I can't stop it. So I sat down to drive it correctly. You know, so I went through all the curves. I did all the curves good, but the very last curve, and remember that sign
The
I
one
told.
that wipes out everyone.
Yeah,
right?
the very last curve, you know, is just going so fast. Remember I told you that sign that's
Don't risk.
I literally jump over the tires, you know, because the tires were buried, and there were semi tires, you know. I jumped over the tires and went over that
fence or
that sign. I literally tore down the sign right in front of the pits.
At your own risk.
risk, bro.
Right in front of the pits, in front of everybody. It was so humiliating because I said,
Oh, it's better than crashing into the car.
Hey,
That's funny.
Damn.
but but we had a lot of it was a lot of fun times in there because you know this is back before so many laws and regulations.
Yeah.
And
Before
this
safety
is
gear.
Mexico. And this is Mexico.
Before
okay?
safety gear, kids.
Yeah. So people were going, oh, you want to try like Venica? Go kill yourself. Go kill yourself.
Yeah.
Literally go get on it. And like I said, mostly guys. The guys who would like to show off. They were the first ones. And there was no seatbelts on the go kart.
Yeah.
Okay. The steering wheel was made out of steel.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Okay. So, and they would the first thing they would break their teeth or
Crush your chest.
because they wanted it. They looked for it.
Yeah.
The Widowmakers. And so that was your entry into the car world.
Yeah,
With
correct.
go-karts. And then when you got older,
Yeah, so my dad then decided he from there he got tired of working every weekend and he said he went into a steel business, which we did pretty good. But then by that time I was 18 years old, so my dad said, yeah, because a lot of things going on in Mexico, a lot of if you're doing over there okay, people are onto you.
yep.
So my dad said,
You gotta get out.
why mess with this? And so he said, we'll just go back to the United States. But my dad, where he screwed up is he caught all the devaluations. This is in 1980. So we came back in 86. And if you guys know Mexico's history, that 84, 85, 86 were the worst. They were the worst evaluations of the Mexican currency that there was.
Yeah.
So my dad almost literally he lost like 90% of what he had.
Wow.
Oh, man.
And, so when we came back,
He had to start over.
from here, start over. And he
That's
was
kind of what
already-
they did to everybody, right? They say, oh, yeah, let's move the decimal point.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
This many points.
And then my
away.
dad was kind of messed up because instead of having his savings in dollars, he had it in Mexico in pesos. So he got really screwed. And then so we came out over here, and then my dad started a car lot, and then we did pretty good.
Okay.
On the car lots. I was selling cars. I was telling a customer today. As a customer's been coming here because I've been here 31 years.
Oh, wow.
This actually
Hey,
in June
congrats,
it'll be my
31 years,
31st
look
year.
at that.
31st years?
Yeah.
31 years.
So I was telling this a friend of mine, a customer, a friend of mine, I can call it. He's literally been coming here for like at least probably 30 years. And it was because I told him I got my sales person license because you need a license to sell vehicles.
Yeah.
At 16 before I got my
Before you got your
before I
driving
got my
license.
driver license.
Wait, we got your license. Man.
Wow.
Look at that,
crazy.
man. That's what's
And I
up.
was selling cars. We used to have a car lot over here in Chula Vista. And I was selling cars at 15, 16 years old, like hotcakes pretty much.
Yeah,
I used to sell, we used to sell a lot of cars.
And then you would fix them and work
And
on
my
them.
dad, so we had to start all over. And literally, my dad started with 7 cars. And these junk cars, we had to clean them up, restore them, whatever.
Yeah.
And from there, we went on and on.
Damn.
But after a while, my first car that my brother and I bought, we bought because my dad got a trading of it was a Carmen Ghia.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
And my dad said, "Hey, Dad," because my dad one day. This is a good story for people that are going to be parents. My dad one day, because my dad literally lost all his money, right? So he said, "Hey guys, one Sunday, come over here. Okay, we're gonna go buy some stuff." So we went and he took us to there was a little lawnmower shop on L Street in Chula Vista, and then bought us some used lawnmowers. Okay, and so I was thinking, oh, my dad wants to clean up the lawn, the house.
Your house, yeah.
From living in my dad had a badass house beautiful house in Mexico, $1 million house.
Yeah.
He ended up, we had to rent a house over here in Chula Vista.
You had to start over.
Yeah, start all over.
Yeah.
Reset.
Yeah, and so my dad, so I was thinking, oh, my dad's he wants to clean up the lawn and all that. And so I said, okay, yeah. So we bought the lawnmower and all that because my dad was a landscaper. He knows exactly what. He bought a edger, not a hedge, edger. Okay,
edger.
yeah.
Cool.
That metal one,
and if
sparking
you
it up.
guys, it's not a regular lawnmower.
That's what keeps it clean, nice.
A lawnmower it goes like this.
Yeah.
And a trimmer goes like that.
Yeah.
And if you're a professional
Landscaper.
landscaper, you know the big difference. The trimmer will trim your lawn a lot better than the lawnmower.
Yeah.
Keep it clean. That's
It's
why
for
you get those-
flatter lawns, right?
Yeah.
So he bought some trimmer and then the edger and whatever else we needed. He said, okay, guys, okay. So we bought the machines on already. Okay, cool. Follow me. This is on a Sunday, right? No, where am I going? The neighbors. What the hell? Hey, man. My two sons, they want to mow your lawn.
Surprise!
So, oh no, I'm not. Okay, no worries. Went to the next house, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, my two sons, they're ready to mow your lawn. How about that?
Look at that. You guys started, man.
And so then my brother and I we started and started mowing lawns and it's just on Sundays, right?
Yeah.
And after a while, we had the whole almost half
The block?
the cul-de-sac was
Dang.
because there was like 25 homes on the cul-de-sac, and like half of them were mowing their lawns.
And
So we're
you had
doing
the
so good.
tools.
Yeah.
You had the right tools for it too.
Yeah.
That's-
Okay. And then I remember the very first one we did.
Yeah.
My dad said, okay. It needed a lot of work, right? And it was three of us.
Yeah.
Okay. And okay. So
Get
my
another
dad said, okay, how much is it? Oh, don't worry. Don't worry. We'll take care of it later. And then we finished the job, and it was like we worked on it like 4 hours, three of us. Okay. And my dad, okay. So yeah, go collect on the lady, right? So he asked her, well, how much is it? The lady asked my dad, well, how much is it? Well, this is about that's about $40-$60 somewhere there. And then, here's $10. We got paid $10 for 4 hours between three of us. And I was like, oh my God,
You're gonna learn today. Huh?
So anyway, my brother and I kept on mowing lawns for like 2-3 years.
Damn. You guys started a business right there.
Yeah. So after a while we had a route.
Yeah.
But my dad already got started the car lot.
Yeah.
And we at the car lot my dad little by little buying cars and put on with the cars and selling and all that. Long story short, he bought the Carmen Ghia. He got the Carmen Ghia as a trade-in. And I asked my dad, hey, what's going on with the car? He said, I just got it as a trade-in. Well, yeah, well, how much you want for it? I need $500 if you want it. He says, okay, that's fine, I'll buy it. And that was my very first car. And I kid you not, in 2 weeks, I sold it for $1,500.
Dang.
Wow.
Well, you guys already know. I mean,
Yeah,
you guys were already taught how to hustle, how to sell, and then not only that, you guys started a business when you were kids.
Yeah.
So,
And
man, that's awesome.
Pops push them.
Yeah, that's
That's
a,
the
Yeah,
thing.
it's all like
Pops
that.
push them because
Yeah.
some parents won't push you. They'll just go,
Exactly.
It's fine.
Yeah.
they'll let you
Find your way.
they'll let you sit on the couch
Yeah,
and play video
sometimes-
games.
Sometimes
man.
you can't let kids decide their future. Sometimes you gotta do it for them.
Even as adults, man, we gotta
Yeah.
be told.
Yeah.
Especially as men,
Yep.
Yeah, I as a kid, 10 years old, we were working with my dad.
Yeah.
I was an electrician when I was 10. I mean, I used to wire up houses and do all the electrical because my dad
Wow.
we would go and he'd give us like $10.
That's
You'd
the
work,
scariest
and back-
trade right there, man.
Yeah,
Child
and
labor.
I knew electrical young, and
Child labor, bro.
but back then it was okay.
Yeah.
It's still okay if it's
It
your
wasn't-
kid.
yeah, it was- yeah.
Nowadays you gotta be
I
careful.
mean,
I give you life.
It wasn't frowned
Nowadays
upon.
you
I
got-
remember, well, we would show up to a house and on a Saturday, me and my brother and my dad, and you brought your kids, and they're like, yeah, you guys want anything to drink? And they were super nice to us, and they would even give us money. And it's like, we're just helping my dad out.
They give you money, your dad's like,
Yeah,
you got taxed.
that's my money.
Right. Food, toilet paper.
But that's a good lesson, life lesson right there.
It is.
So
To the
now,
day,
now
to
I
the
bet
day.
you look at that and you say, oh, I thank my dad.
Oh yeah,
that
I think my
he
dad
taught you that.
Yeah, I thank my dad for he taught us a lot of things. He went
Yeah.
through a lot of struggles in life, like so many, and yeah.
So
I think I really know how to work. Basically, I don't shy off on anything.
Yeah.
I tell my guys, I hire somebody, you gotta start from the bottom.
so
Yeah,
let's
always.
First
Always.
thing, clean the person. You have I've hired a girl because
Equal rights, man. Equal rights.
yeah, I hired a girl. She was all nice and pretty one day.
But she wasn't working.
She literally wasn't doing it. She acted because I tested her. I said, okay, I want you to do this. In 2 hours, I'll be back. Okay, on the computer. Right. I came back. She was literally 2 or 3 words. She had typed it.
yeah.
This is 2 hours later.
She was that
Yeah,
ADHD.
and I told her, you know what?
Mofo.
You know what? I asked her, do you have $20? This is when it was like $10 an hour wage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got $20 on you? He said, oh yeah, sure. Can I borrow $20 from you? Oh yeah, sure. She goes to her purse, grabs $10. Here. Okay, thank you. Now I need you to leave. This is what you owe me for acting stupid for 2 hours.
Danny, man,
Don't
he's
play
honest
around,
and
yeah,
straightforward, right? You don't
Yeah.
play around, man. You don't play around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
How long ago was that?
that's like
That was a long
Years
time.
ago.
Say 30 years ago
Yeah.
before there was equal employment rights.
Yeah.
But not, it's like
29.
but nowadays people aren't taught how to work.
people are
They don't know.
hypersensitive,
Oh man. Yeah.
So, the Carmen Gia, to interrupt real quick, the Carmen Gia, let's fast forward. What were you doing before you opened the Wheel Zone?
Okay, so my dad, we had the car lot, and then my dad ended up buying this. So I said the property we were at, it was a lease, and that's in 1991, I think. Yeah, the Gulf War, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Started, and the owner of the property got freaked out and said, I need to cut your lease and this and that. So my dad said, I need to buy a property right away, and this is where he ended up.
Oh, look at that.
Right here.
Yeah, so he bought this property, and then, but then my dad, he was getting older. He was in the 70s, I guess, and he just didn't have the passion. Actually, this place was before, because he was old school. He doesn't like to own. He didn't like to owe any money.
Yeah.
So if you buy something, we just buy it cash. And,
That's how my dad was.
and then so he ran out of money. He bought the property cash, and then now I have no money to work. So he said, I'm gonna open up a recycling business.
Okay.
So it was a drive-through here.
Yeah.
It literally was
Nice.
a
trip,
drive-through.
That's smart.
Oh, okay.
Right?
People back here, that's our storage area. Right now. But anyways, people would drive through and then drop off their cans and
Recycle.
Just exit through the alley?
recycling. They would leave through the alley, and but we realized later that my dad realized later that you need a big property for that.
Yeah.
So the thing about that business, it's your purchase and your price and your sales price are always limited.
Yeah.
They're set. So it's always the same amount of markup, basically.
Oh.
It's not like if you buy a car for $500 and
make
sell
your
it for
own price,
$1,500.
Yeah.
You're good to go.
Is
right?
it because of law or just because of
Yes. So the market dictates the purchase,
Gotcha.
and also the market it dictates the
The cell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like locked in. You can't.
so
Yeah.
then there's limits. So your profit margin is always the same.
You're capped. You're there. Okay.
So
So he didn't like that.
So after 2 years, my dad just gave it up and then says, "Oh, because there used to be a tire store here."
Yeah.
Oh, it was?
Before
you guys bought it?
Because my dad knocked down the old building that was here, and we built it. He built this part of the building first.
Oh, okay.
And then, he got into the recycling first, and then after that, my dad started the tire business, but he only wanted to sell Goodyear tires because he liked the sales guy for Goodyear a lot.
Yeah.
Loyalty.
Yeah, they won him over, huh?
So then
perks.
Yeah.
and now by then I was already like 17, I think 18.
Okay.
And I told my dad, we're gonna starve here if we just keep on just selling Goodyear tires. So I told him you gotta do something else. So I kind of getting kind of desperate with my dad, and he wouldn't budge, It's old school. And so I told him, well, how how much you want for this little, this is where we're at right now, this little room. And he says, okay, I'll rent it out for you. How much you want? It's $800 a month. Okay, I'll rent it out for you. So I said, I'm going to fill it up with wheels, right? This is 1994. This is my 31st. Yeah. This is not my first year. I mean, this is my 31st year. But in 1994, I realized this was in San Diego. This is before cell phone, before internet, before all that stuff.
Yeah.
And there was no internet. So if you wanted to find out something, all you had was a yellow page.
The phone
Yeah.
book.
The phone book. So I said, oh, shoot. So I realized in San Diego, there was nothing. And I went to the little peon tire shops. It was either a franchise like Discount or it was a little peon tire shop.
Yeah.
You know, I call them peon shop.
Like a used tire shop.
Yeah.
Used tire shop, yeah. And I said, oh, shit, there's no, and I looked at the inventory and wheels, they had nothing. Nothing, they had steel wheels.
Yeah.
Steel was just crap.
Basic.
Yeah.
Nothing special.
Yeah.
Like a regular, you know. And so I realized I started, you know, I got the phone book from LA somehow, and I started searching. What? There's a lot more business in
Up there.
So I ended up going to LA, and I would like go like 2-3 times a week by myself, and I would get up at 4 o'clock in the morning,
Drive up there.
drive up there at 6 o'clock.
When there was no traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice, no traffic.
Yeah.
back
It's like
then.
the main concern.
Yeah.
And I had like a itinerary. I had to go. So I want to go to this place, visit this place, all this place I have to go, and just go find out what they're about. And I realized, okay, these guys know what's up, and these guys are fools. You know?
Yeah.
Taking notes, huh?
So that I was there was a shop I remember up in LA in Fullerton, this mom and pop place, but the guy actually really knew what he was doing. He had them first. So I'm the first one in San Diego that had a mill set up to do bolt patterns on bolt pattern changes, changes on wheels.
Oh, okay.
Blanks as well.
Blank,
Blanks
yeah.
too, yeah.
So you would drill
Yeah, so
your own bone patterns on the wheels.
yeah, so that's what we do. We can.
No,
So we
he's
could
just
do-
showing me
Yeah.
the signal for rain. I thought he was coming.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's raining
I
out
can
there.
hear
I thought he was coming out of the closet. I was like,
It's actually no. It's actually raining in San Diego. It's not just chispas today. So it's actually raining.
We got
Yeah, it's
gotas
a-
outside.
Not Mexico rain, but
Oh, but it's raining.
it started raining because
I
of the
can hear
members.
it.
There you go.
yeah. So LA, you started hooking up with some of these guys
Yeah, correct.
for about the wheels and get an idea for your own shop.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
So you were asking,
kinda-
you would go up there and ask them like the tricks. And,
Yeah. I would just sneak into try to sneak into the shops and see what they're because before and even probably nowadays there's not so many places in San Diego that do work on 3-piece wheels and can do a bolt pattern change or shave the wheels or weld the wheel and all that. You know, we do all that.
Yeah. That's good. Do you guys also do when people wear out their they like scallop their mud terrains? Do you like reshave the tire too so that the pattern can be even?
Regroove the tire, you mean?
Not
mean, like,
regroove.
cut
So
the
you know
tire?
how like a mud terrain, you scallop them so one point is sticking out more. Oh. So there's there's only like very few in San Diego where they put it on a cutter, kind of like a lathe, I would say, and then they cut it down to make the tire rebalance and ride smoothly again.
No, yeah. So it's something that's not so difficult to do, but I don't do it because you need a room just for that.
Yeah.
And you need a
Yeah,
machine
'cause
just
it's
for that
gonna make a
because
mess.
once you put that tire on the it'll even out the surface of the tire.
Yeah. Like I only know a few places in San
Yeah,
Diego.
yeah.
that does it.
And that's old school. Yeah, that's old school. Yeah, the places that have
that's
that.
when your alignment's off.
Yeah, your alignment's off.
You tell people that, and they're like, hella scratch their head. Like,
Yeah,
what?
Just get a new tire.
Nowadays it's like the disposable society. I call it. We're the disposable
Yeah.
society.
Yeah. Nowadays it's just replace the tire. We don't even deal with that.
Yeah, man. Having with cars
Yeah.
too.
So, I've actually been here before.
Well,
Yeah, I used to have a old school red Corolla. This was probably like what year was that? Like 2000 when I had
2000.
I
2001,
had
2000.
3-piece JDM wheels. I got the lips chromed and the centers powder coated, and you guys actually put it together for me.
Oh.
So
Oh,
yeah,
what?
yeah.
Welcome back.
That was like
How long ago was that?
that was like 2010. No.
Like
that
no,
was
over 20 years
No,
ago.
that was like 2000 or 2001.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like right around there. So
I was still in high school.
yeah. So I
But
was,
we were in high school.
I was asking
Show them the
Jericho.
wheels. Maybe have a picture.
I don't have it no more, but I was telling Jericho, I'm like, hey, how long has that place been open? Because I recognize it. I called around. There wasn't too many people that could work on 3-piece. You guys actually broke them down for me, and then I sent them out, get powder coated chrome, then I brought them back, and you guys put them back together.
Nice. There you go.
Yeah,
See?
so
Yeah, that building was way different too.
Testament to what they
I
can
think, if I remember correctly, wasn't there like a pool table in here somewhere?
Oh, that was that long? Was it that long?
Yeah, like 2000,
Wow.
2001.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's longer than that. That's 90. Let me try to remember.
It was like
that's probably 90,
99.
98,
It was
90,
99.
90, 97, somewhere in there.
No,
'Cause we
'cause I
graduated in
graduated in 97.
97.
That'd be 99.
I didn't get the
99,
road.
2000.
I didn't get the red Corolla till like 2002 or
Yeah.
2001.
Yeah, I only had the pool table. So what is? So I kind of skipped a part, but so because I was my brother and I went to college. He graduated as a financial consultant, and so and then I was doing my master's in architecture. But then I had a car accident, a pretty big car accident, and that kind of messed up everything. And and then I didn't want to get in debt, and because you have to get a, if you didn't have a scholarship, you have to get in debt basically.
loan, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I kind of went like this, and so I figured my dad and my brother. I told my mother because at the beginning my brother and I kind of partnered up with a business, and then. And then one day, my brother and I had like a conversation. My brother and I had a conversation, and I told him, you know what? Instead of us both staying here and figuring out whether this is gonna work or not, I told my brother you should probably just keep working at his a career, right? As a financial consultant. So I stayed along with the wheel business. Okay. And that was, so yeah. I'm pretty sure that pool table was here about 2-3 years after I started.
Wow.
And then because the reason that the pool table was here is because my brother and I, while we were at college, because I was full-time college and full-time working here, and we had an arcade. There was a little arcade here set up.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
But then we did away with the arcade machines, and we just we had inventory around this room, and we had the pool table still. Yeah. I know the pool table would have to go. For some reason, we had an emotional attachment to the pool table for a while.
Yeah, man, pool tables are cool, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one thing that stood out as I walked in. I was like, "Oh, a pool table at a tire shop. I've never seen that before."
Billiards and wheels.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So they actually fixed the tire, my spare rim on the Raptor that I damaged.
Your wheel?
When it broke off, when the wheel studs broke off.
Yeah.
I brought it to them and they fixed it.
Okay.
Nice.
So yeah, they drilled out. I don't know. You guys want to talk
Still
about
insert.
this process of what you guys do?
Just simple drill. Just drill down the mill and press a steel insert in it. No precise.
Oh, okay.
And that makes
Simple
me,
little task.
Yeah.
Now I got a full spare.
You'd be amazed at how many shops simple little tasks are so complicated for them.
Yeah.
Like discount tires and always kind
Well,
of.
they don't do that stuff, do
Well, all
they
this
don't
one does is just bang
Change
out
tires.
tires.
Yeah,
That's it.
They just plug sometimes tires and fill.
No, they
fill
won't
tires.
plug a
They don't
tire
plug
for
no
you.
more.
They don't
Oh, they don't plug no more.
No.
And most tire repairs, they won't do them. It's slightly on
my
that.
dad lied to me.
I think
He told me he
they
took it to like a
they
plug.
I think they just swap out your tire.
There's probably with some.
Well, it's anything that's a that they feel is a liability.
Yeah.
And I don't blame it because nowadays everybody's also so happy.
Yeah, everyone's so happy for sure. Dude.
Yeah. I had good luck with plugs like from Amazon. You know, the ones where
Not
you
butt
Yeah.
plugs.
Scrape
though.
them
No,
in
no,
and-
not butt plugs, dude. We're talking about tires.
Okay. Yeah. So plugs for the tires.
Correct.
You know,
Yeah.
the
But
handle.
let me illustrate you guys. The plugs. You don't want to plug a tire.
It's
basically.
temporary.
Yeah, it's a temporary
Yeah.
fix. Why? Because when you're driving down the road 9 miles an hour, the tire's gonna flex. Even the thread.
Yeah.
Will flex.
Yeah.
So that flexing, it's gonna
Pop out or-
No, basically the hole will get slightly bigger, right?
Start
Yeah.
burrow it out.
And the plug would get stiffer.
Yeah.
Because at the beginning, they're kind of soft and it kind of but they go stiffer, and that's how you lose air.
Yeah.
So it's like I'll say 75% of 25% of the plugs fail.
Yeah. No, I believe it.
Don't they have to take them off, like sand it down, like patch it, right?
Yeah, and a patch, if it's done right, it'll outlast.
The plug only comes in handy because when you're
Right, it's a
off-roading and you just gotta plug it. And
Yeah, it's a
then-
temporary fix.
Yeah, temporary fix.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So man, we have pool table, billiards, and wheels.
So while you're talking, I keep staring at that wheel right behind you. Like, what is that, anodized or is that like a plating?
Yeah, that's no, it's I forgot the name of it. It's basically like
like that
a plastic
PVC?
PVD.
Oh, nice.
PVD.
Okay.
PVD?
PVD
wow.
coating.
Yeah,
I never even heard of that
They
before.
put that on metals.
it's kind of like a plastic coating.
Really?
Oh wow.
Do they chip easy or is it pretty?
No, it's been there.
Doesn't fade or anything? So can you?
I mean, if it's exposed to the sun, I might, slowly, it should fade.
Yeah.
They put that on pocket knives a lot.
Chrome.
PVD
So,
coating.
yeah?
so chrome plating, it's
It's gotta
better,
be strong. Yeah.
but it's so this supposedly doesn't pollute. It's
Yeah.
a green way to
Oh
do it.
yeah. Because
And when you
chrome
plate it-
shops are all gone in San
Yeah,
Diego,
because of
right?
pollution, it's big time pollution.
Yeah.
EPA cracked down on them.
Used to be some good ones too, but
Yeah, they're all gone. The only
Okay.
place is in TJ,
Yeah,
right?
Tijuas.
yeah, but even
No,
that's a mission.
there's
to
a
do
place
it.
in there's several places in LA, but they're very. I say of those, probably 90% are gone.
Oh wow.
It's like you really need to love that wheel to re-chrome it.
Yeah,
now
it's expensive.
It gets really pricey.
Well,
really
back
pricey.
in 2000, when I got those wheels done, you guys put them together.
Back in my day.
There was nowhere in San Diego that did chroming, so it was way back then.
Yeah,
It was.
They used to have a chrome shop in
Off
where is it?
28th,
Yeah, down in
SD Chrome.
yeah, and that then they cracked. I think they were the last ones,
Right?
right?
The last one. Yeah.
Well,
That the city cracked down on.
There
that.
were some places that said, "Oh, we chromed it," but they would take your stuff up to LA
Yeah,
and send them out to get chromed and
Yeah.
come back here.
Okay, that was me.
yeah,
yeah, like at the end of the chroming era.
so-
That's
Brokering it.
Yeah.
So what it is, chrome plating is you need a big facility. Okay,
Yeah.
To do that, and it's you need all kinds of permits, and the EPA is always on your case, and I used to go, and it's a big liability. Big why? Because the first thing you need to do, I learned all the process. The first thing you need to do is strip the old chrome, and you need it's a really strong acid. I forgot the name of it. Hydrochloric or something like that acid.
Hydrochloric.
So Robocop chrome.
And it'll literally
They
disintegrate.
throw them in there.
Yeah, it'll
1000
disintegrate you. It'll
finish.
disintegrate a piece of metal if you left it there
Oh,
way
wow.
too long.
Just
Yeah.
eat it up.
It'll eat it up big time.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
I used to work with hydrofluoric acid or hydrochloric, one of those two. Chemical milling. It would eat titanium. Eat it. Yeah.
That's savage.
Yeah, you can't drink that.
Yeah. So
Not even a shot.
I used to make soda too, by the way.
Oh man.
so the first process is you strip the chrome just so for those
Down
out there,
to the
just
metal?
inform-
Yeah.
Yeah, down to the metal, to the raw aluminum, and then after that you need to polish because it'll leave a very porous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And after that it has to be polished, and then that's where it's the difficult part.
a lot of work.
The polishing. It's my respects for all those people
Yeah.
Yeah.
that do polishing.
Yeah.
And I guarantee it's only for Mexican people that do that.
Yeah.
It's a hard ass job.
I've had wheels and I had to polish them, and it was an all-day project.
Oh yeah.
No,
For
but
us.
this
Are
is-
you
this-
Mexican?
No, wait
you
a
go.
minute. This is not like a little buff or anything. No,
Yeah.
they
They
use
got the
like
big machines.
industrial,
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 horsepower motors.
Yeah.
Electric motors, and those things. I mean, you when you remember you have
They
to
won't
grab
stop, man.
They'll rip your shirt off.
That torque.
Yeah, you need
Rip
to
your
hold
arm
on.
off.
First, you have to be completely covered from head to toe. Everything,
Yeah.
everything, even in your eyes. I mean, but Mexican, a lot of times they
Yeah.
they don't cover themselves.
We're the
You
real
need to
gear
grab the
done.
wheel.
Yeah.
This is 20 to 30 pounds or 40 pounds. Hold on it like really tight onto that thing,
Yeah.
onto the buffer, and then little by little you have to go against
maneuver
the
it.
buffer,
Yeah.
and it's that the machine's so strong. You mess up a little bit,
It'll kink you, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
It'll
There was-
bite.
I guarantee you, so many accidents there, and they're almost fatal accidents.
Yeah.
No. Okay, because you miss the way you turn it, and
I've seen videos on it. It's
now they have robots.
Yeah.
Now you can buy a robot for like $100,000.
Yeah,
whatever.
the iRobot. I think Elon makes them. So go on with the procedure for chroming.
So you after it's polished, then it's so people say, oh, I want a triple plated chrome, and that means you're gonna that means you're gonna dip it 3 times in chrome, right?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, it's called triple plated chrome because you first dip it in copper. The copper attaches really good to the aluminum, right? Okay. And then it's polished again. If it needs a little polishing, they'll polish it again. And after that, and then it's dipped in nickel, and the chrome, and then the chrome will attach. So after that, after the nickel, you dip it in chrome. So they have big ass tanks.
That's your triple.
Full of chrome.
I didn't know that.
A little bit of wordplay, hey.
I knew triple chrome plating always the chrome attached better to the aluminum.
Okay. So
I knew it was better. It's stronger.
Okay. Yeah. So what's more expensive? The copper is more expensive.
Yeah.
Right? So people say, I got a triple plated chrome, and then for example, people will come, oh, well, I can get them plated for $50 or whatever, just a number, and for $50.
But that's just chrome.
That means that the plater it's just polishing the wheel,
He's
dip it in nickel,
apart,
and then in chrome he's skipping the copper.
Yeah.
And that's why it
the
flakes off.
Correct.
You used to see it.
So if you want good chrome, you
TJ.
first.
That's what happened to TJ, bro.
Yeah, back in the day, you could. When I started here, like 20.
I used to do a lot of chrome.
Like we would do like curb rashes and stuff, and it would be really evident, man. Like you would see the aluminum, and then you'd be like, "Why is it brown?" And like that's the copper.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it.
Yeah, and you can tell it's a big difference. Another big thing I'm seeing right now, not really on wheels, but it's kind of like an anodizing process where you dip it in and you use a battery, like positive, something like that. And the longer you leave it in there, it will turn like different colors.
That's chrome. Well,
That's
anodizing.
That's for
Is that-
titanium, bro.
is that
it's
anodizing?
anodizing, but chrome. When you chrome plate, is the same process. You also need.
But this one there's no nickel plate. It's just like dip it in, and depending how long you put it, it'll go from like shiny chrome to like a blue titanium color looking thing.
I do with titanium for sure.
So that's why chromes are so expensive now. There's no one doing it, and
copper, all that's expensive. Copper is expensive.
Even the chrome, I think, is PVD too now, right? It should be.
No, PVD is a whole different process.
But I mean, like the chrome finish on some of the chrome finishes can be
on
chrome
the new
finish.
wheels.
Yeah, it's like not even real chrome. It's just.
How's that?
On the new chrome wheels, are they like PVD also now, or are they also?
Well, depends on.
It depends.
Yeah, for example, that wheel, the outer is it's a stainless steel lid, but it's been plated.
I've seen some where they look chrome and you start rubbing them and all of a sudden it rubs off. You're like, what the heck? It turns out it's like a plastic chrome. You know what I'm talking about?
Those can be like a chrome clad.
Yeah,
maybe.
something like
That's
that.
the ones you see where they spray it on.
I've
right?
seen it on a couple of Dodges, man. I feel like.
That's actually one of the cars that.
Yeah, a chrome clad. It's an aluminum wheel that has a plastic cover attached to it. It's a lot of times it's glued onto.
Yeah,
it.
the Dodge Rams, the 5-spokes.
So it usually comes on factory wheels, and when you damage the cover, the wheel's done.
It's trash.
So, can you just do it to any wheel you want, or
PVD?
like the
PVD.
PVD?
No, so the manufacturers, the places that do that process, they then if you just take them a set, they don't want to mess with a set.
Yeah.
It's done on an industrial basis.
Oh, okay.
So they want to do
during
like,
the wheel being made, they do it.
Yeah, so
Okay.
they do like batches of 1,000 wheels.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
The replacement, right? We don't
So
repair, we just
so
replace.
since we're getting into wheels, let's ask some questions about wheels. Can you tell us the difference between a two-piece wheel, 3-piece wheel,
Yeah, so
One piece wheel.
1-piece wheel?
so one piece.
Well, just for our listeners,
Yeah.
you know.
So
they can know.
one piece is just a 1-piece wheel but nowadays so you have cast and you have forged and you have flow forged.
Oh,
So back in my days it was just
Cast and forged.
cast. So the difference is that there's on a forge is probably the best one, but it's the process is more expensive, and I'm pretty sure they use a lot more heat and all that, and that's why it's so expensive. But now they come out with flow forge, which is I understood it's about between 95 and 99% equivalent to a forged wheel. and without the expensive process. You know,
Yeah.
I guess they don't. They use different kind of machine to do it where it saves them a lot in energy. I guess
So-
as they pour as the cast being poured, they start forging.
Pressurized.
They start forging, and that's why they call it flow forge.
That's what Tesla does with their chassis. It's I forget what they call it, the Gigafactory, right? It's like a big cast machine, and they flow and it forges it, like pressurizes it, heats it up, and it cools off quick, and it makes it stronger. So it sounds like that's what it is. It's like
Yeah.
a type of-
So the difference is that, for example, between a cast and a forged wheel, or even a flow forged, the density. If you look at a microscope onto a micro. Put the metal onto a microscope. The density, you can see the pores on the cast wheel,
gotcha.
and you will not see the
The
hardly
pores.
any
On a forged wheel.
on a flow forge or on a forged
Less
wheel.
porous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So Forge is still the strongest wheel.
Yeah.
it's forged, bro.
It's stronger and it's lighter.
And it's lighter.
Forged
so-
stuff.
Yeah, you can actually. We probably have some here.
Yeah,
You can
some, yeah.
probably.
And they're
That white
like,
wheel behind you, it's flow forged.
That's a flow forge. If you pick that up, you can get you can pick it up super light.
Oh no, I don't want to be responsible for anything.
So
It's only metal.
So my curiosity, since I'm looking at the method wheels, those seem like they're cast, right? Or are they?
Cast
yeah. Nowadays it's kind of difficult to tell, and what it is the manufacturers are moving towards. The way I see it, everything's moving towards flow forged. Maybe the companies that still do for example, for 3-piece wheels that do the outers that will be forged, you know, and because they're so thin and they have to be stronger, they forge them. The centers most likely are just cast on the 3-piece wheel, and then but for like 1-piece wheels, the way I see it, everybody's moving towards flow forged.
Okay.
What's your best
They
seller?
call them some people call them form forged or
Oh, okay.
best sellers. It varies. I mean, it depends. For trucks, you see. I mean, what people ask, for us, Method has been one of the best sellers. So we used to be. I'm not sure we still are, but this guys from Method used to tell us we used to be number 1 in San Diego for Method.
Really?
Number 1 seller.
Yeah.
yeah, you guys got them all.
Bring it back.
But you know, I mean, I try to vary the inventory because now people will show up. That's all you got.
Yeah,
Method,
man, I
and-
could tell, dude.
So
you
I have a little bit of everything.
luxury
A little bit
car
of everything.
wheels, you know,
You guys got a
street
lot
car
of
wheels.
Yeah.
You know what?
UTV behind you, like
That's
UTV
UTV.
wheels.
Yeah, UTV wheels. So yeah, you gotta definitely have a variety.
You got that avant-garde behind you. That's a Porsche right there.
Yeah,
Porsche application.
there's definitely a variety.
We have a
Lambos.
Lambo application.
There's a
We have-
Lambo set out here too somewhere.
Damn.
Yeah, that one's a kick-ass, cool color too. It's like a rose gold.
Yeah, rose gold.
Wow.
A little bit of everything. Yeah. It's just that I've been the type of I hate to say no to a customer.
Yeah, so you
they show up
cater
and,
to
Yes,
everybody.
that's right.
and
you
I used to
cater.
get a lot. Is this all you got? And I mean, so I try to improve my inventory and.
Yeah.
It's so many nowadays. So when I started, the largest wheel was a 16-inch wheel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
And now they're up to 32-inch.
Oh wow, dude, what?
32 inch.
So the inventory. So imagine, not the same to stock a little, a little 16-inch wheel and 32 inches to boxes.
Yeah.
That's insane.
So the volume it's a lot more. So I try to have a little bit of everything. Yeah.
How's this brand? Autohan.
They're nice.
Autumn's nice. They're pretty fair.
Yeah,
I
they're
have some on the Z.
Prices are pretty fair.
The
Yeah.
price is fair.
And-
Flow Forge.
Yeah,
And they're
they
strong.
have about 8 different 10 models, between 8-10 models of flow forge.
They're nice.
I'm gonna check it out because I'm curious.
Those are nice. Those
They're
are
not
like
that. The one behind you, take the ground down. The one behind you.
That one as well,
Yeah.
the gold one.
The bronze one over here.
That bronze?
Yeah,
Yeah,
try
that's
that one.
one.
That's one of the lightest wheels we have. Compared to
You break it, you buy it.
Yeah, compared to that one. See, compared to the BMW one.
How much is one of these?
The set,
wheel.
I think the 980 a set. We saw them for 980 a set.
Wow,
So our
that's a
prices,
nice looking wheel too.
yeah, our prices are usually, just so you know, we always try to keep it under. You could buy off the website, of their website.
Yeah.
And we'll still be like at least between 5-10% cheaper.
Dang, man.
Well,
I'm gonna get my wheels over
Try that one over there. Just try to lift that one.
That
over there.
BMW one, yeah.
here.
that's a heavy
Yeah.
one.
Oh, this factory.
I mean, that looks heavy.
That one's heavy. Is that a real BMW wheel
No,
or is
that's,
it an
aftermarket.
aftermarket brand?
Aftermarket.
Okay, just has a logo on
Yeah,
it.
dude. Imagine trying to get a
Yeah, well, you guys
overpaid.
took care of me on. I bought that Toyo that I ripped up out at the Mojave, and I bought a new one, and Beto and Danny took care of me, and we put it on quick. They it was like I called you in the morning. You had it at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's
So-
another thing.
Dang.
He's got really good resources here.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
what's up.
yeah,
They changed it out in like in 20 minutes,
So
15
cool, yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to get to more questions about, Wheel Zone and like the difference between a small mom and pop shop and then you have a competitor next door, obviously, right?
Oh, yeah.
People go in and out, and honestly, I live down the street, so I've passed on through here and not realizing like, oh shoot, this is. I thought it was a tire shop, like a small tire. I didn't realize there was
it's a little hidden gem.
Wheel Zone. That man.
Yeah.
No. They fix wheels,
So you guys fix
sell
wheels.
wheels.
It sounds like you've been
Machine.
in business, yeah. It sounds like you know what you're doing, versus, let's just say, a bigger company, corporation, where they honestly hire a lot of rookies, dude. And I've heard
Right.
horror stories where they make mistakes and stuff like that, but sometimes they're not accountable. So, have you ever made a mistake and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna fix this? Is that something you've done? And
Yep.
how did, what's one that stands out in your mind? We're like, man, like I almost, but we're gonna make it right because I want you to come back.
It could be anything. It could be, for example, back in the days when I used to chrome play, the plater didn't go to right, didn't do the job right. I had to pay again for
Don't get it redone.
Yeah.
for replating, or it could be anything. A lot of things. That's the thing about this business. It's not. You have to be on it all the time.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
You got to be fair. Both
Just
sides.
honest and straightforward,
I'm
you
saying,
know?
I literally have to be at this place every single day because, you rely a lot on your employees,
Yeah.
and so the margins are very, very
Yeah.
low. So the margin is very small, right? And you can't. There's not much room for error. You can't be screwing up all the time.
Yeah.
First of all, you obviously you don't want to. You don't want to be screwing up with your
Yeah.
customers. You don't want to lose your customers.
Yeah.
And you have to be fair, and you have to be respectful. There's so many things that have to be done right for the customer to come back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, he knows how many customers they just show up so many years. One of my best customer is now a partner of mine. It's a friend of mine. And going on to some other business, but. And it's just a customer. He literally drove for probably 30 years from Encinitas to here. He could pass. He probably passes like over 100 tire stores.
shops.
Yeah.
And
But he kept coming here.
And he came here, and then after so many years, I realized, you know what? I know this guy. I know who I need to call for some other business I was doing, and it turned out really good. So yeah, you have to be on top of everything because you don't want to. You want to be fair. You want to have obviously you need to make a profit, but you have to be fair. You can't I kicked out an employee for that same reason. When I hired, he was hyperactive, little shorty guy. He used to dance salsa like his name David. You see, you're watching this part. My respects, the guy was a top dancer, salsa dancer I ever met.
Yeah.
I went and anyways, I remember when I first met him, he was all hyperactive, like he had some monsters to drink or whatever. and I told him when I first met him, I told him, you know what, I think you're a really good sales guy, but I could guarantee you're gonna lose this job because you're so hyperactive. And yeah, it's the same reason. So one day I overheard him, trying to sell. I would tell him, if it's a crappy tire, just tell the customer it's a crappy tire. That's why he's only paying so much.
Yeah.
But if it's a badass tire, you tell the customer it's a badass tire. That's why you're gonna pay so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no sense to beat around the bush. The product speaks for itself.
Yep.
I don't need to fancy this wheel if it's just what it is. Well, a one-piece cast wheel, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't need to. The customer nowadays with the phone, everybody can make a price comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it is what it is. The margins are low, but you have to be fair.
Yeah.
And he was such a good seller.
Yeah.
The talker, and he would customers and on a crappy Chinese tire, I would tell him, well, he was fancying it up, like marking it up twice as much. And it's all, you don't mark up that tire that much.
Good,
You don't tell the customers it's a fancy tire because it's a badass tire because it's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a badass tire, but the other way around.
There you go.
Real badass.
It was
tire.
opposite day. He didn't know that.
Yeah, so I told
Come in like crisscross.
so what I told him, you know what? One of these days you're gonna lose your job, right? Okay. And after you lose after you lose that job, I'm still gonna be here, and I'm the one who's gonna have to deal with a customer, and he comes back and bitches at me because he paid so much for a tire that wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
So I try to be fair on every single customer. I try to be fair. Now some customers just don't understand what fair means.
Yeah.
They want it for nothing, right?
Yeah.
They're cheap.
But
Yeah.
but you have to be fair. You know,
Yeah.
that's what I aim at.
All right.
But you've been in business for 31 years, so
Yeah.
it says something.
Yeah. That's
Right?
pretty good.
We'll get into it a little bit more.
Yeah. Let's get into it next week. Second podcast.
Okay.
Thanks for joining.
Yeah.